Thank you for tuning in to Acoustic Chef Podcast with D. Will, Capel, Ebony, and Regina. You can expect to receive new content every Monday. Check us out while you're working out, on your way to work, or on your drive home. You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to another episode of Acoustic Chef. This is your boy, Damien.
This is your girl, Ebony.
This is Capel.
And this is Regina. How y'all doing?
Doing
Good.
Doing good. On the second
What you drinking on, Damien? What you got there?
I'm just sipping, I don't know, some one of my play sister put me on this Saint Superi, however you pronounce it. It's like a Moscato. I don't really drink Moscato, but she live in Jamaica now, and I was supposed to send it to her, but been having the hardest time trying to. It's so many rules and regulations and stuff like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's my wine now.
It's rules and regulations because it's Jamaica, or because of like COVID
because
and all the process?
Man, just imports and exports, bro. It's crazy. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I could send her anything. You know what I'm saying? I can't send her no alcohol or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It used to be difficult to even send alcohol in the state of Texas, because I think that's why a lot of people had to get into wine clubs and things like that. And for a while, you couldn't even do that. I think it's different rules based on the states.
I would have to get like an alcohol permit. Like I want to say maybe like a distillery permit or something like that or whatever. And then I would be able to send it just some extra. Like, okay, if I can do it then I should just be able to do it, period. Like, basically what you're telling me is I have to pay you in order to be able to do it. Because that's all, most of these permits, that's all they are. It's not like you going to a course and learning something. You know what I'm saying?
Just buy you a ticket and check it in your bag. And go.
Yeah.
Everything costs money. You got to pay to be a barber. I learned how to cut hair by my damn self, but I got to pay for a license.
Exactly. Like what kind of sense do that make? That's crazy.
I can't do hair out of my house. I got to pay y'all to say I'm a
certified,
whatever.
To do makeup, all of that type of stuff. You got to be certified. For what? What's the purpose?
I mean, some of those are with good reason. I'll just say that for a hairstylist, especially. Because if you're working with chemicals around people's hair, then you need to know what you're doing. Don't just... True. I'm not going to your house and you're going to put some color in my hair and they have me ended up like Tina Turner with that little girl where her hair all fell out.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that as far as like, somebody trying to have their own business out their house. But what about the person who actually has the business that's legit and everything they do is based off of, what they supposed to, like health codes, all that. But somebody wants to work there who don't have a license, but they just know what to do. They know how to do hair. They just know how to do it. They ain't had to go to school. I know a lot of women who just know how to do hair.
Tons of women.
They just know how to do it. They don't have the
damn near every
background,
black woman know how to do hair.
So like, that's really more what I'm talking about. You should be able to hire that person.
You should, but there's always been a lawsuit based on doing that, I guess. Once somebody does it and then somebody goes back and sues because now you got cancer because you mixed this chemical and it got into my bloodstream. I guess it's just... Okay. It's a money cash cow, but still, I think it's a reason.
Why does it take, 18 months to get this certification? It should not.
Because when people come in, you don't know what they're getting. There's so many things, especially with women hair, women, there's so many things you can get. It's not just slap a perm and get a pressing comb. There's different colors. People have different skin issues, allergens. There's a lot of things. I don't think they're just going to school to learn how to put a roller in your hair.
No, that's true, but it doesn't take 2 years to learn that, is what I'm saying.
Maybe not 2 years. I mean, 18 months is about standard for learning how to, and it's not just, like she says, not just a cutting or a press and curl or whatever, how we used to do in our grandmother's kitchen with the press and comb or whatever. It's not that anymore. You're dealing with different textures of hair, certain types of black hair, white hair, Asian hair. It's all
techniques.
different.
Yeah.
You have to be able to deal with all of that. And so it takes time to learn those things. It just
and then they gotta practice. It's not all learning. Sometimes then you need a year to practice.
So I agree with what y'all saying. Like all the stuff y'all saying is valid. But the reason why as a whole I don't agree is because, okay, let's go to a different field. Personal training. You should be liable for the people that you work out with. You should know the body. You should know how you lift weights a certain way, the muscle planes. You should know all that, right?
Facts.
But yet you could become a personal trainer by going online and getting a certification because you paid $500. And now this paper that you have says you're a personal trainer. And if you're the person who doesn't know the gold standard of certifications like ACSM, NASM, stuff like that, you got a person that's a personal trainer and you assume that they know what they're doing, but there's no college involved with it. There's no schooling involved with it. Some of these places you can go and take a test, and the materials that they give you to prepare, it's a test pretty much. So you basically just paying them to get a certification, and it says you're a personal trainer. But yet when you get insurance, you do get insurance. You should have insurance, but if you get a person to sign a liability waiver, which most personal trainers do, have you sign a liability waiver saying they're not responsible if you get injured or hurt. If you get injured or hurt, you, for the most part, you're not liable. Even if they do try to take you to court and sue you, for the most part, you're not liable. So to me, what's the difference in that than somebody who's trying to be a hairstylist who knows how to do the job? Like, why can't they have the opportunity to just do the job, get whatever training that they want to get, and pay for liability insurance and work at a hairstyle? I'm gonna work somewhere. Everything y'all said is right as far as those things, but I feel like the way that the system is set up, it's not fair. It's not right. To me, a hairstylist should have to go through the same thing a personal trainer goes through to be able to do their job. And it's up to the person that's paying for the service to do their research. That's how I see. That's how I feel about it.
As far as liability goes, you're absolutely right. If a person, if I'm the government and I'm like, look, in order to do this thing, in order to have this business, you have to have a certification or whatever. You shouldn't even have to have a certification. You should have to have your business model set up properly as to where if somebody has to sue you or whatnot, they will be able to get their restitution. As simple as that.
Unless you die from it. I mean,
but somebody can die. You can have you could go to school for 30,000 years or whatever.
Right,
you can have a doctor kill somebody or whatever, and what's the difference?
I mean,
doctors kill people every day.
Yeah, well, people die every day.
Or hospitals kill people every day.
I agree, but I also know that when I go and take my daughter to get her hair done, I'm not doing my research. When I do research, I look at the pictures. Oh, does that look good? I'm not going to see what certifications, and maybe I need to do that. But even when I get my nails done, I'm actually trusting the regulations put in place that these people have not to mix these chemicals together, are not going to put this on my skin and burn it up. I'm all for a good lawsuit. I've been waiting. I'm looking for one. I'm trying to slip, fall, all that. But not at the expense of my hair never coming back or me having lung damage because I inhaled something in a nail shop. So I get it. I think there are some things that, hey, let's reform how you get certification, because I think police officers need to go to more training, But so I do think
2 years,
right? So I think that there are some things that are, it's crazy, especially in trades, in the trade world. But then there's also some things. Hey, it's a lawsuit that backs it up to why it once wasn't that way.
I think it's set up that way for a specific reason or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, I mean, Black people, we were the journeymen in the country. After slavery, we was the ones doing all of those jobs that, you know what I'm saying, that didn't require you to go to school or whatnot, that you could just basically know how to do it, learn how to do it. Your dad taught you, your grandfather taught you, and now you're able to do that. Now you need a certification.
Skilled workers, You know
what I'm saying? Of course, there are people that do these jobs that really can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to always have that. You're going to have people that's going to be skilled and still make mistakes.
Well, I need somebody with a tattoo to go on and.
But you're right, because even like in restaurants, look at all these restaurants. They got people that have businesses. They have these certifications. They went through the process, and their food tastes like shit.
They have no quality.
They don't really, So even going through the process, you're gonna have these bad experiences. I feel like that it make it hard for people to do it for a reason. You know, it shouldn't be that hard for people to be able to make a living. It's something that they can do, that you shouldn't have to pay thousands of dollars to get this piece of paper that say you can do it if you can do it. You know, I think that's the problem I have with it.
I think a lot of times too, these commissions are formed regardless of the industry, and we don't serve on those commission boards. And I understand that wasn't our idea to, you know, like now I'm in real estate. Black girls in real estate. There's a commission that regulates the rules. And how many of us are sitting there? You know, we complain and talk about the laws of redlining and all these things, but are we sitting at these boards? Once we get these positions, and now that we know that they've already put this government entity in place, and I call it government, regardless if it's a hairstylist, real estate, whatever it is, who's making these laws, these documents, these forms, and everything. So I think that it's our duty too to make sure it's like even in your neighborhood, your HOA. I complain about everything in my neighborhood, but I don't go to not one HOA meeting. And the reason why I don't go is I'm always paying my dues late. But at the same time, I still know, hey, you know, I can go over here and complain. As soon as I have one weed in my yard, they sending me a letter, you know.
Straight up.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think we still have a duty, you know. Of course, this is not fair, and we didn't put these commissions and rules in place, but since they're there, how can we get up here and shake up some stuff?
Straight up.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wanted to talk to y'all about right now in today's climate, we have a big, humongous issue with cancel culture, where if somebody goes against the popular narrative, we've been canceling these people, certain people, because not everybody, because we've been compartmentalizing, and certain people can do certain things and we're like, well, it wasn't that bad. But then certain other people can do other things and it's like, it's the end of the world and I don't want to listen to their music. I don't want to watch their movies. I don't want to eat at this restaurant, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to like see if we could, I mean, I know we're not going to find the answer right now or whatever, but I guess just talk about it and bring a conversation to it or whatnot, as far as like how far do we go with it? You know what I'm saying? And like, what result are we trying to get from it? What's too far? What's too much? When should we mind our own business? You know what I'm saying? And when should we compartmentalize enough to be like, to separate the man from the music, the woman from the music, the man from the politics, so on and so forth, the man from the movies, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I bring that up because Tory Lanez just dropped his album Daystar. So I checked it out and I said what I said about Tory based off of what the ladies told me. They was like, okay, it's not alleged anymore that Tory actually did shoot Megan the Stallion or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, we're only basing that off of what Megan the Stallion said. We're not basing it off of facts from what, Capel?
No, I was telling Regina, just for Regina.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
Hold up,
we're not.
She like she ready to jump in.
Yeah, we're not. Hold up, Regina. We're not. Let me set it up, then y'all can talk. But we're not basing it off of facts or whatnot that we was able to see from ourselves. We're not basing it off of evidence that we seen from ourselves. We just basing it off of he said, she said, or whatnot. So Tory Lanez just came out, dropped his album. The entire album, just about at least 90% of it is about the situation. How he was able to craft the album that's so dope and talk about the same thing, I don't know, but it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And every song is fire. I wish this hadn't happened. I wish he hadn't. If he did, or this whole period, I wish the situation hadn't happened because this music is amazing. But at the same time, his passion led him to write this music or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So in any event, we have Megan saying that he shot me. You know what I'm saying? He put my life in danger. And then we have Tory on this joint saying that I would never do that. And that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? And he even doubling down, saying that I can't believe that you allowing it to go this far and telling people that this is what happened or whatever. So my question just specifically with this, well, not question, but my perception is we have two improbable things that are going on that I'm like, I can't I'm done trying to wrap my head around it. So I'm gonna support both of them, listen to both of their music until we find out the utter truth or whatever. So we got two improbable things. One, somebody saying that somebody shot them and be lying, that's not probable. And then the person that supposedly shot them to double down, like, not only did I not shoot you, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe that you telling people this. You know what I'm saying? So that's improbable for the person that did this thing to come out and double down on their stance to say that I did not do this thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's not improbable.
Hold up. It's very improbable.
R. Kelly did the same thing. It's not improbable.
Hold up, Gina. Hold up. One more thing before we go forward or whatever. When defending yourself, well, okay, if somebody makes an allegation about you, you know what I'm saying, and we're talking about something that you did in the past, that is the hardest thing to defend yourself. You can't really defend yourself against that because you can't be on the offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like when we have, to bring an analogy, a lot of times we have people that say that certain R&B artists or certain rappers are gay and stuff like that or whatever. How can you defend yourself against that if you're not? It's nothing that you could do to defend yourself against that. You got two options. You either gonna say that you didn't do it or you just gonna be silent about it. You know what I'm saying? But what you can't do is to go watch some gay porn and film yourself watching it and be like, oh, that's disgusting. See, look, guys, I said that was disgusting, so I'm not gay. You can't do that. You know, there's no way to defend yourself against that. So it's like you just gotta accept it and move forward. So you either gonna double down and say I didn't do it or whatever, it's not me, that's not the truth, or you just gonna be silent about it. So anyway, y'all got it.
So I'm not gonna go in on the Tory Lanez part because I know you asked a couple of things in there. The first thing I'm gonna talk about the cancel culture part, and I'm gonna talk about the Tory Lanez part too. But I don't want to spend like 10 minutes talking.
No, before you start talking, I feel like this is gonna be another Everybody Hates D Will episode.
I'm just asking questions.
I don't think this is gonna be.
Maybe it's gonna be Everybody Hates Capel, depending on what you have to say.
But first, I'm gonna talk about the cancel culture because I know that y'all want to respond to the Tory Lanez part, and I feel like I don't want that to take over the conversation because your initial question was about cancel culture. For me, cancel culture, I feel like we do have this cancel culture that gets overblown, but I feel like there are times where people need to be canceled. And you don't mean that you don't get a second chance in life. You know, you got a chance to do whatever you want to do. And if somebody gives you the opportunity or you make the best of the opportunity, then you do that. But I feel like some people do deserve to be canceled. Like R. Kelly, he deserves to be canceled because of what he did. When you do stuff that hurts people, when you put other people in danger, when you're breaking the law in that way, nobody owe you anything. Like you messed people over. You did things that were just wrong, and it didn't just affect you. Yeah, damage. It didn't just affect you. It affected a lot of people. But then there's some times where I feel like we cancel people for things that it wasn't that serious. It's like we all make mistakes. You know, if we all got our skeletons pulled out the closet and on display for the world to see, then the whole world would be canceled. That's how I feel for the most part. So there's a lot of things that people do that we don't need to cancel. People have their judgments about them because they find out it happened. But I can guarantee you there's some things that I don't want people to ever know about my life. And I'm not going to ever want it to be put on display. And I'm pretty sure most people feel that way. Damn it, the Pope probably feel that way.
1993.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, but so when it comes to cancel culture, I mean, my opinion is the people that I feel like have the biggest voice when it comes to cancel culture are people that, in my opinion, are like that are affected, like truly affected. We was talking about John Gray. I don't care about him. So his situation, I ain't keep thinking about it at all. But people that followed him and that believed in his teachings, I completely understand if they want to cancel that man. Yeah. Because they directly were like into what he was involved in whatever. But people who never knew nothing about John Gray or didn't really follow him, and then they come out with these heavy opinions and stuff, like that's what I feel like it gets too much. It's too much because like you don't even know anything about this man in situation. You just heard he cheated, and now you have this opinion and now you're pushing the agenda. Your opinion is fine, but you're pushing on social media, and now you're trying to cancel this man. But before that, you never even talked about him, or like he wasn't somebody that was on your radar. That's when I'm like, why all that? You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's not necessary when you try to cancel somebody in that way. Yeah, because they got regular people who out here just cheating. You gonna go through that same thing just because they're not famous. You know. So to me, it's like
cancel them all.
But I mean, so for me, like I like somebody Kanye West, I cancel Kanye West in a way that I don't really want to talk about him. I don't really support him, but his music before all this, some of it is dope, and I listen to it when I work out, and it helps me get through my workouts, and I just like it. I ain't gonna stop listening to that just because he acting like a damn ass right now. I don't want to. I'm not gonna support him in that way, but the music part of it, yeah, some of it I'm gonna listen to because I like it. It's really good. Would you still
go to a concert if he was like, I'm performing my old joints? Would you go to the concert?
Probably wouldn't, because I'm not about putting money in his pocket that way.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went to one because it was amazing, but I won't support it anymore.
I went to the one at Lakewood where he had the whole big choir there. It was amazing. I didn't have to pay. It was free. The tickets were free. It was so good. It wasn't even him, really. It was the other
the choir, huh?
Yeah, the choir. They were amazing. And I was like,
Sunday
dang, how can I be a part of that? Yeah, and then, it was like their Sunday. Oh, it was so good. And then at the end, like he did finally come out and talk to Joel and all of that. And then he did his thing. And at the end, he's all like, what song y'all want me to do? I got time for one more song. And everybody's all like, Jesus Walks. And I'm all like, Gold Digger, play Gold Digger. Like in the middle of Lakewood. Folks are looking at me like, girl, he's saved now. And I was like, but still, Gold Digger. That was the vibe right there. Anyways, I feel the same way about Kanye. He has issues, but I still like his own music. Who I won't support or listen to is R. Kelly. I agree. He deserved to be canceled because he had multiple opportunities to get himself together. Like, I believe in second chances. I do. Even third chances. But when you over years and years do the same things, have that same predatory behavior, you deserve to lose everything because you were warned. You knew better. He knew better. And of course, the whole conversation about these young girls and their parents and stuff, that's another conversation. He knew better. He did. Yeah. And he chose to do otherwise. So wherever he is, however he's suffering right now, good riddance. I feel bad for his kids because their mother said something like, oh, my children are being bullied at school because of the things, their dad did and blah, 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 blah. And my suggestion to her was like, maybe homeschool, sis. Like, I don't know how to keep that from happening, but their dad is not a good person. So
send to the father.
Exactly. And then as far as Tory Lanez, I'm not buying any of his music to listen to. If it comes on while I'm like listening to, another station on Pandora or something, I might listen, but I'm not buying it, first of all. Secondly, I can't believe that he's like denying this because in the beginning, Megan she wouldn't even admit that it was him who did it. And then when she was asked, like, why didn't you just say that in the beginning? She was like, well, calling police on a black man is just something we don't do. Like we probably all would have died. We probably all would have been in trouble that night. So I didn't call the police on him because, even though he did this terrible thing to me, his life still matters. I don't want him to die for it. So I didn't call the police. And for him and then she had to straighten things out because there was some misinformation. So she got on Instagram and she made a statement like, yes, this is what happened. This is what he did. And for him to like make a whole album, even though you say that it's fire right now, whatever, I don't care. I'm not buying it because now we're questioning this black woman. We're questioning what she said, her words, her truths. Like, I don't know what would make her lie about it. And I'm not sure. And of course he would say he didn't do it because it makes him look like a giant asshole.
And everybody's turned on you. And if she's lying, I'll be the first to be like, I can't rock with you. And I like Megan, but I will say this, I'm always going to go, like I bet on black, I'm always going to go with the woman. So that's just me. So it's I'm gonna go with her right now.
She doesn't have a reason to lie though, because in the beginning she didn't even say who did it.
Just one question, Capel. Have I been through not something that this extreme, but have I been through something similar?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And the person I know what you're talking about, and I know you don't want to go into detail, but yes, yes.
And the person was absolutely 100% lying.
And I know that. I mean, I've been on. Men have lied on me all my life. My baby daddy lies on me all the time, and I know some women that lie too. So I don't think that women just tell the truth. You know, I just question the. To me, it's like if my livelihood is on the line, and I know he's talented and all this, and I'm glad that he found an outlet to put his music into, you know, his stance into his art. That's great. But that ain't the first thing I'm doing. I ain't putting out the album. I'm gonna look. Y'all lying on me. I'm gonna put this defamation lawsuit out. We finna figure this out. Where's the cameras that were on that strip? The other people that were around, or let's subpoena them. That's what I'm gonna do. I understand. See, the thing is, when you're an entertainer, you also understand the court of opinion of the masses, like social media. Once you put certain things out there, and I don't know which side is the truth, but when the truth does come out, like everybody's already made up their mind. That's why they always make sure to put out whatever they're going to put out over social media. It's always leaked so that people can start forming their opinion, or so that it is difficult to get to the truth. So I'm not saying that was his motive, but I do understand if my livelihood is on the line, I'm being extradited or moved to the country from which I came from. If everybody that in the industry that I've looked up to and I have acquired their attention, now that they're turning on me, my first thing is not to put out an album. You know, that's just me. And I understand everybody handles things differently. It may be fire. Maybe he's telling the truth. Who knows? But right now, I got to rock where I rock.
So my opinion about all this, to be honest with you, is... So I know when we first talked about it, we didn't talk about it in detail. I said, I can't see a reason as to why he would do what he did according to what she said. And I still feel that way. If what she's saying is true and he did that, I can't see a reason as to why he would do that, like shoot her in whatever. But in general, like listening to the situation, see, I deal with a lot of this. And Regina finna laugh when I say this. I deal with conflict resolution every day. You know, with who? With kids. But you know who a lot like kids? Adults. They just like kids. And when I listen to what he's saying in his album, and then when I read the comments that she made about the situation, first of all, I wouldn't be surprised if they both telling the truth. And the reason I say that is because in many situations that involve he said, she said, their perception of what happened their reality is the truth. It's just that the facts is what you need to get to the bottom of to determine who is truly right or wrong. And we don't have no facts. All we have is what she's saying about what happened with her. And then we have what we can peel from what he's saying from his album, which he's not giving facts either. He's just basically saying, I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. I care about you. I love you. And parts of it is like, I want you back. The other part is, blah, blah, blah. Like he just saying all that in his album combined in several different songs, which I ain't gonna lie. Did you right? The album is fire. It is. But outside of that, it's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. And somebody, maybe one of their sides of the story is more true than the other. I don't know. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to cancel neither one of them. I don't care how more believable her side may be because she's giving us more facts or whatever. And I don't care how believable his side may be because he got so much passion in his music and it's like, dang, maybe he's telling the truth because I can feel it in what he's saying. At the end of the day, I ain't canceling neither one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's not enough there. And I feel like that's what happens too often in society. Like I feel like him coming out with his music the way he did, Ebony, I feel like that was his way to make sure that everybody heard his voice. Because that's what he is. He's a musician. And if he would have just came out and made a statement on Instagram, yeah, people would have read it. But people read people take the emotions that they want from statements. You don't, hearing him in his music, He could portray that the way he want people to hear it from him. And he could be lying. He could be flat out lying. You know, he got his lawyer team. He's supposed to be fighting it and doing all this. And that's why he say he not making actual statements. And he could be putting out a narrative that he want people to believe for his case. That could all very well be true. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know what happened. And I feel like I'm not going to choose nobody's side. Number one, I really don't give a shit, to be completely honest. but number two, I mean, this is how I am for the most part in life. I don't choose sides unless it's actually something that I can see or witness to be like, dang. And part of that is because I do work with these kids. You have no idea how people will tell a story and believe it to the bone. And then when you hear the other story, you're like, well, dang, they sound like they telling the truth too. Exactly. Then when you start asking questions, you get to the bottom of it. You start asking questions, and that's when you get to the bottom of it. We don't have the luxury to do that. So
if you just look at the facts of this, he's from Canada. He's not from America. He commits a crime on American soil. That's automatically, that's first strike. We would know 100% unequivocally if her story was 100% accurate. I'm not saying it's not at all accurate, but if it was 100% accurate, we would know unequivocally. He would have been arrested. He would be in prison.
Well, she said she didn't.
Okay, but she came, so she got shot and she's not pressing charges against him.
Because you don't know what they said there. You don't even know what they said there. You don't know if they said the gun fell. You don't know if they didn't say, you don't know what they said.
You don't get that option in California. You don't get the option to, if certain stuff like attempted murder or weapon assault with a deadly weapon and stuff. You don't get to choose whether or
did
not.
They say it was an assault? Did they say? Did they tell the police he shot me, or did they say it failed? You don't know what they said. It's not assault.
She came out and said that he shot me. So that's automatically
coming out on social media and coming out to the authorities and writing it down and saying it to them is two different. It's like going to the tabloids.
It's not two different things, Ed, because you don't, once you make that statement, there's no longer a choice. Just like, remember, dang, I forgot, was it Michael Jackson? It was somebody who had a situation where the female didn't want to file I forgot who didn't want to file charges and stuff. It doesn't matter. Once certain things come into place, like dealing with kids or dealing with anything with violence kids, and weapons and stuff like that, you don't have a choice. It's like that in Cali. It's like that in Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, I don't know the California laws, but I do have a friend that was kidnapped by an ex-lover at one point, and she decided not to file charges. That's fine. You don't file charges. But then they found out she was pregnant, so then the state picked it up. So I know that there's certain things to where it doesn't matter. And she told everybody what happened. It didn't matter what she said. It only mattered what she told the authorities. But once the authorities found out that she was with child, then they didn't care what she said. Then they went on because it's a minor. So I don't know California law. I can't pretend to know that. But I also don't know what they said at the time to the authorities. What they tell the entertainment world, I don't know. I don't know that. I see a lot of people that pretend to do things for the media frenzy, and then it's not the same in real life. And I don't see the media, besides rap music and kill the police type lyrics. I don't see people saying, "Oh, this is what you said in your music. Come on, let's go." Or this is what you said on Instagram, or this is what you said on Facebook, unless it's a threat.
You didn't actually kill the police. If you actually killed a police officer and say, "Yeah, I was on 17th Street and we shot the cop in the head," well, when they hear that, they're going to utilize that information. They do the same thing in Chicago. A lot of those stupid rappers end up going to prison because they talk about what they did or whatever. They'll do the same thing. If you talk about what you did, then they're going to use it as evidence. If you just talking bullshit on the record or whatever,
say things that they did and they didn't do it. But so what I'm saying is, I don't know the law of California, so I can't say that. But what I will say is, I do agree where you all are saying we don't know it, don't necessarily take sides. I actually thought about that, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just sit back. I'm not really a big fan. I think I just really started to get on Tory Lanez because of social media and because of COVID. Just when he was doing the different sessions on his page, my husband put me onto him. Don't know much about him. I see that he has talent. I definitely know about Meg the Stallion. I am from Houston, and I've heard a lot of her lyrics. I think she's a good rapper. But I also, I don't know. It's based, I guess, personal experience. I always tend to lean towards the woman, but I do know women lie. I do know that. So we'll see what happens.
If a woman say that a man hit her, if a woman say a man was abusive, if a woman say something that this disgusting that a man shot her, we automatically gonna lean towards the one. Because why would somebody lie about that?
Well,
but then at
a
the
lot
same
of them
time,
lie. But I know a lot of women that never get believed. So, and I think of knowing that's why I lean that way.
But that's why I'm saying you got two improbabilities or whatever.
Yeah.
For somebody to just say, if Tory would have just said, no, I didn't do it, I wouldn't call that an improbability. I'm talking about the fact, like, y'all haven't listened to the album. He's doubling down. He going in on Bun B. He going in on Kalani. He going in on whoever JoJo is. He going in on all of his friends. Like, bro,
Chance the
y'all
Rapper.
could have. Yeah, he going in on Chance. He like, y'all could have hit me up and just been like, hey, bro, what the real deal is? You know what I'm saying? He's saying y'all ain't even holler at me. Y'all just gonna believe this bullshit without even getting my side of the story. I just don't see somebody committing.
Well, he could have hit them up too. He could have.
He could have called him and said, "Look, I don't care nothing about Story Lanez. I just wanna,
Tory Story.
If the music is good, so be it. Just, whatever. But I do think that, I agree with Capel about their perception being what it is, their reality. And maybe he feels like he didn't shoot her. Maybe he feels like he shot at her and didn't hit her. But he really did. Like,
maybe they were drunk. They might have been drunk. What was that? What's the drink that everybody drank? 1492.
Oh, they was definitely because from his perspective, he say that him and Kylie was like still chilling in the pool. All right, so from what he's saying, him and Megan been silent for a minute. He like her, she like him or whatever. But he wasn't making her his main thing or whatever. She invited him to the party, to the pool party at Kylie Jenner house. He go there, he liking on Kylie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Megan picks up on that. Megan bounced. She pissed off. She drunk as hell. She walking, leaving the spot. They don't even know that she pissed off like that. That is an issue. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where everything is fuzzy. That's the part that we don't know. What happens after that?
So did they get in the car together?
That's all the shit that we don't know. That's not really.
Oh no, I thought that's what was told. Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of stuff been told. I mean, first
I think he said something that alludes to. I think he does say something in one of them songs that alludes to that she left with him.
Yeah, I thought they were in a car together.
I think he said something that alludes to that.
With two other people.
But,
that's what I thought.
See, it could have been his bodyguard. You know what I'm saying? It could have been, first it was said that they had got robbed or something like that or whatever.
I never heard that.
It's like
I thought it was her best friend.
I want to hear from them two other people who were in the car.
Exactly. Where those people at? But listen, I was gonna also, as far as cancel culture goes, have y'all heard about this movie called Cuties?
Yeah.
That's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So that movie has been brought up before.
The girls dancing stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the premise of this movie is I really don't understand why everybody tripping. I have not seen the movie, but I understand and I know the premise or whatever.
Right.
So this little girl from Senegal, Africa, she like 11, 12 years old or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She her family is a religious family, but she's enthralled, with this new atmosphere of the internet. Just like we all are, just like we all online watching girls twerk and shake ass and all this comedy and all of that stuff or whatever. So she's enticed by this lifestyle. She, and I could be misquoting, but she wants to be a dancer or something like that or whatever. And she like finds these girls that dance and stuff. They dance or whatever, but these girls, they don't dance like little 11, 12-year-old girls should be dancing. They twerking and shaking ass and stuff like that or whatever. You know what I mean? So the girls goes through this process and stuff like that or whatever. And it's pretty much a drama to show you why this life, like little 11 and 12-year-old girls shouldn't be doing this type of stuff or whatever. So at the end of the day, she ends up going back to her family or whatever and, utilizing the tools that they've tried to instill in her or whatever. So everybody from the outside looking in that doesn't understand the premise of this movie, looking at it like, oh, this movie is promoting, women twerking and promoting little girls and it's making, it's giving pedophiles and stuff like that, reasons to watch these. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Y'all didn't even watch the movie. You don't even understand the premise. You don't even know what it's about, but they ready to cancel the movie. They ready to cancel Netflix. You taking money out of this little girl pocket and her black family since you so black and supporting black people and stuff like that. And without at least watching the movie to understand what it's about, because once you watch it, from my understanding, you'll get a different perception from what you're thinking, from what everybody's telling you to think. You're not even thinking this yourself. People telling you to think this. And so now you're like, oh yeah, let's not watch this movie. What the hell is wrong with people?
I think the premise of the movie is everything that you said. It was it's a movie directed out of UK. It's a African or Black woman that is the director. The issue is, and I think it's more towards the end of the movie, is some of the shots of where the camera is. It's not really the premise. It is when girls start grinding on the floor and then the camera's right there in the crotch. And it's that because of the, where we're trying to buckle down on sex trafficking and the way that Black girls especially are sexualized, it could have been more tastefully done knowing that these kids are like 11. It's not like it's an 18-year-old that's acting as an 11-year-old, These are kids and they're grinding and their fingers are all in their mouth seductively and they're touching their crotch and going down. It gets to a point where it's like you can still get the point across because the point is reality, right? We see our kids do our kids watch a Meg the Stallion video and then they may try to do a move or whatever. It is definitely reality. But I do think that there has to be some type of conscious and respectful way to show these things, especially when minors are involved. And I don't think that was those shots were not the majority of the movie. I do think most people have not seen the movie, but there are some questionable angles for the camera, and there's some questionable moves that the kids did that for their age that are inappropriate, and that if you're a pedophile, you'll watch this movie, do a still shot of that frame and jack off to it. So I think that they made a bigger deal to, of most of it. I think most people, hey, take it off, cancel Netflix. But I do think that there should have been some preference of how they directed and showed those little girls in those frames.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie. I did see people making comments about it. The first comment I saw was somebody on Facebook saying something about pedophilia, which what you said, Damien. I don't plan on watching the movie. It's subtitled, right?
I don't know. I honestly, I think it's English from the previews. I didn't watch it. Somebody gave me a breakdown.
I think it's voiceover. They're doing a lot of voiceovers now, even like
I think the original trailer. I think the original trailer, it was in the original language. And that's what I was like, I ain't watching that.
They voice over a lot of stuff in English now.
Some of them do. I didn't check to see, and I probably wouldn't watch it no way because it ain't a movie that interests me.
It's a drama.
But just as far as what y'all are saying, I mean, I agree with both of what y'all are saying. I agree that the movie probably is being overblown as a whole, and the message behind the movie probably is good. But I agree with what you're saying, Ebony. Like, there's a way to get that same message across without having certain aspects of a movie being hyper sexual or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I don't really have nothing else to say about it. I agree with both of what y'all saying.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it either. I've seen a lot of reviews on it, and it didn't seem like something I needed to cancel the whole network over. Like if something comes on ABC that I don't like, I just turn the channel. I'm never watching this again. No,
exactly.
I don't do that. I just turn the channel, and then when something comes on that I do like, I turn it back. Yeah. So Netflix offers so many wonderful things. Right. It's ridiculous to say let's cancel it over this movie that Netflix is just showcasing on their platform. They're not responsible.
And are we supposed to be mad about the platform? I understand that they may bear some responsibility, but shouldn't you put the money, don't give that particular director the views? Then that way Netflix wouldn't even allow them for the next film to be on it, right? Mm-hmm. So do we want to cancel the platform that is allowing all of us to have, things? So why the platform? I mean, I get put it where, you have power where you put your money. But there's so many things that we enjoy on this platform. Are we want to cancel it all, or do we already have our backup of? Have we started a platform that we're going to utilize that's for us by us?
And not that we're going to get those shows. Like I'm in the middle of halfway through Sister watching all those episodes again. I'm enjoying it, and I don't want it to go away. So I'm going to keep watching them. Yo, go home, Roger. On that show. Why you ain't got a good show?
Them same people that sit up there screaming, "Oh, I ain't never watching Netflix again," and blah blah blah. Man, they as soon as they finish watching Cuties, they went to their favorites to try to find a movie. They ain't canceling shit, no way. Like, as soon as you get bored trying to find something on TV, you like, well, don't nobody know I'm watching this. They still watching Netflix. Netflix ain't losing no sleep over that shit.
We gotta stop. I mean, just me personally, man, I'm only canceling certain people, if you a child molester, like if Kanye was a child molester, I don't care about his old music no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rocking with his old music. I'm talking about, and I ain't talking about 15, 16, girls like him, he like them. I'm talking about like kids, babies and shit like that or whatever. Then there is no question. My morality, there's no argument to be had there. You know what I'm saying? But because he's an idiot or whatever, like you say, Capel, I'm not listening to the old joints. Lately, I haven't made a point to go listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, damn, you tricked me. You know what I'm saying? What happened to your mama sitting at the in the spot where white people ain't want you to eat? What happened to that? And all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
he got into a certain tax bracket and he had to,
hang out with
those
crossing
white
his
people.
legs.
What he say? Get on, leave it for a white girl. That's what he said.
He said it.
He said it, right?
Now you talked all that stuff to Trish and her daddy, to her dead dad, and I'm gonna take care of your daughter and all of that type of stuff or whatever. Then 10 minutes later or whatever, you got the African American Express card and now you a different person or whatever. That's but in any event, he's still like my number 2, 3 top favorite artists of all times or whatever until somebody replaces him or whatever. But, I'm not canceling Netflix over Cuties or whatever. I'm not canceling Tory Lanez until I know for a fact if he did shoot this girl, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason.
You know what? I'm not canceling if he did do it. That's not my lane. I'm not getting involved in their relationship stuff.
I feel that, but come on, bro. That's just some Buster shit,
like,
man. Come on,
okay,
bro.
so listen, if he like he shot in the toe.
Both toes, right?
He shot in
both pinky toes.
Like, so she can't wear sandals no more. Okay, I mean,
hey, bro.
I don't listen to Tory Lanez like that. No way. Like, listen, I'm not a fan of him like that. No way. Like, prior to Damon, you telling me about his album, I just heard him on stuff. And I knew he was cold. I know he's very talented. He, just as a musician in general, he is very talented. But he wasn't like somebody that I got on my playlist and like listen to all the time. So if this situation was as is what most people think, where he had this domestic dispute, he shot her in the foot, yes, that's some whole shit. I will say that. But if his song came on the radio and it was jamming, shit, it's jamming.
All right.
That situation to me is not that serious.
So that's understandable.
The underlining things that happen as a result, I would be more like, that's more concerning to me. Like prior to like, his album coming out and hearing everything about what Meg the Stallion said, there were people like they were commenting on her and calling her names and speaking negative about her. And I feel like that's more of a deeper issue because this is a Black woman. This is her truth. This is her right to say. You don't need to be talking down to her. Like, that part about it is something that I feel like is more important than the actual dispute. That's between them. The law is going to figure it out. And after that, it is what it is. But people bring other things into the mix that ain't even got nothing to do with that. That's more of the problem, in my opinion.
So I'm speaking, when I talk about cancel, I'm not speaking as to, okay, you listening to the radio, or Kelly come on and I'm cutting this off or whatever. Man, come on. When a woman's fed up, you can't tell me that ain't your favorite joint. You know what I'm saying? Step in the name of love. You can't tell me you ain't stepping. I don't want to hear that. So what I'm talking about, R. Kelly opened up a chicken joint. around the corner or whatever, are you going to go put money in his pocket? Like, I'm supporting this dude
no, not
just
that,
because
okay.
you hear the food is good or whatever.
How do the chicken taste? Is the chicken good or is it trash?
I'm not, well,
I'm
regardless.
doing that shit. Ain't nobody gonna know.
Well, I'm not gonna consciously support anybody, and I'm not gonna directly support. But I have to admit, you know, with the cancel culture, I do think it's going overboard, but I also have to personally say I'm a hypocrite and I'm okay with that. There's some things I'm a cancel. It may not be big to you, and I don't give a damn. If it does not fit my agenda, my life, or it is close to me in an area that maybe I dealt with, it may not be important to you. But if it's something I struggle with as a child or as an adult, or I see other people dealing with it, it's cancel for me. Some people get second chance. I do believe I have a lot of skeletons too, that and things I've done that I'm embarrassed of. I knew better, or if I didn't know better, I did them.
Let's talk about
them one day. But
not today.
But definitely, somebody could feel the same way about me, and that's their right. The older I get, there's some things that's just non-negotiable for me, and there's some things that I'm not going to allow you to make atonement for. There's some things that are. You know, you made a mistake. And there's some things you're just a habitual liar, you're a habitual cheater, you're just a habitch. And I'm not going to, it is what it is, you're counted. And I think we have to get honest with ourselves. Now, as a culture, we do need to stick together. I do think there's some things that I might not like here individually, but as a culture, we should stick together. But then there's certain things that is just cancel for me. And I have to say, I can't pretend like, oh, you know, okay, and let's say this, and I don't really want to get into a whole Chris Brown thing, but Chris Brown was young, right? He had bad examples. Him and Rihanna, they didn't know how to deal with emotions or whatever. But that particular time period, I was like, oh no, Chris, you know, look at everybody enabling you, you know? Now, do I just say, oh, it's okay, because I don't make excuse for what he does, but I'm not as passionate of how I felt in that time period. And then it wasn't just that. It was like, okay, now you've gotten through this. Now you've done this. You're just going to continue doing shit, you know? But so if I was very hypocritical, you know, at that time, it was like hell to the no, because, you know, women being abused is something that's very important. You know, that's a cause that I don't really play with. Facts. And it doesn't matter if you say, oh, she's crazy, or she did that, she threw out his phone. I don't give a damn. And that's me. I don't give a damn.
But you wouldn't tell, at the same time, you wouldn't tell your daughter that it's okay to behave in a certain manner.
No, I wouldn't. But let me tell you what I teach my children, my daughter and my son. Both of you keep your hands to yourself. But this is what I have to tell my son. You do not put your hands on a woman for any reason unless you are saving your life, or if she's hurting a child. There's whatever, but do not, you walk away, you leave her alone. You don't put your hands, because I know the law don't give a damn that she did it first. I know that they're going to side with her first. So I don't say, oh, it's equal, we're going to do equal things. No, don't put your hands on. I tell my daughter, don't put your hands on a man either. But I also have to individually frame the laws look a little different for them. Just like child support court looks a little different for the man or a woman. I can't sit up and be like, oh, we're kumbaya, we're equal. Yeah, we're equal, but we're not the same. The law don't look at you the same.
True. This is my thing with, say like taking the Chris Brown situation into account or whatever. I wouldn't cancel him. I would talk to Chris at that point in time and be like, Chris, bro, you can't do this, bro. You gotta watch what you're doing. You can't behave. You can't be emotional in that manner and stuff like that. But I'm not going to cancel him because he made a mistake. If I'm in the car, or if I'm a fly on the wall and I see them driving, she pissed off because the girl's in his phone, texting, woo, whatever. She started hitting him and slapping him, scratching him and all that stuff. And he pushing her away and end up, you know, probably mush facing her or something like that or whatever.
Slamming her head against the
okay, that's a little bit extreme, but I'm not canceling him because he made a mistake and she made a mistake. I'm not canceling her neither. With their kids, they need to grow up. They need to go through. Because if it was my son, even though I would be scolding him, there would be a path back. There would be a pathway back to. Now, if he out there raping women, I ain't no love for him. I don't care who it is. But if we just talking about something like that or whatever, where you made a mistake or whatever, there's a pathway back. What we're not giving people is a pathway back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but it's like, different for everybody. Like, to me, I think rape is worse. Because that's like, with you know, some people say there's no sin greater than other and there's no offense. There's certain things that have this hierarchy for me, but for others, like if somebody sees somebody their parent being abused, that may be equivalent to rape to them, maybe not to you. So you're totally right. If it was my son, I want the pathway back. I have a son at that time, you know? So, but what I'm saying is that is how I felt at that time. I don't feel that way now. Yeah. So sometimes today it may be counsel. It may really not, it may just be how I feel at that moment because of what I've seen or dealt with or whatever. But I also feel like individually, you know what you can take. And I think that we have to take ownership of where we're judgmental. We love to say we don't judge, but we do. You make the best judgments for you. Yeah. You judge what you want in your life. You judge who you want to be around. We do judge.
Sometimes we need to just mind our damn business.
Well, they need to keep their business.
I was just gonna say that. You better keep it between
always,
you.
How do you do that when you got cameras in your face all the time?
Well, you know what?
They be ready for public opinion.
J-Lo said it one time. Yeah, you choose that life. You choose to be that. And J-Lo said it one time. She said, I remember when the media was following after me, everybody I was dating, everybody I was doing, everything I was wearing. And I was complaining about, I can't have any privacy. And then she said, but one day I decided and it stopped. You can look up this interview. She decided and it stopped. She made sure not to go where she knew TMZ would frequent. She knew to stop putting out who she was dating right away until she wanted people to. She knew that there was some things she couldn't control, but the kind of frenzy that was around J-Lo at that time, she was not trying to be as private as she pretended she needed the privacy that she needed. I do think there's some people are going to be in your business, people in my business, and I ain't got nothing going on. But at the same time, there's certain things that you put out there for bait. You got to kind of like be the control of your universe in that way, you know?
Yeah, so, to a certain extent.
To a certain extent. But
to all the extent. Because Janet Jackson was married for years to this dude named Renee Elizondo, and ain't nobody know till they decided to get a divorce.
Niecy Nash just had a whole sex changed. And I mean, not a sex change, but is with a whole woman.
Yeah, she's married to a woman now.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew.
But you just said you know it.
Now,
no, when she was ready, we didn't even know Chadwick Boseman. Like it is possible to be in the public eye.
Yeah,
and people
certain people,
not certain people, anybody that don't
certain
know people in their business.
There's no possible way that everybody is going to go without. This is impossible. They chase Kanye. They chase people through the. They chase people. No,
I feel
they
like,
chase people
honestly,
through the airport.
When it comes to being a celebrity, I feel like your brand and what you get from that lifestyle, that's part of it. I mean, you're right. You can limit to how much exposure people get to your business. But the truth of the matter is, whether you do it on purpose, you're profiting off of your business being out there. Right. And I feel like that's a part of it. So I don't care about celebrities and people in spotlight business being out there. I don't care, because that's the lifestyle you chose, and you know what came with it even before you got to that point. So just like Ebony said, you do the best you can to keep your business to yourself, to let people find out things. But if people know, then they know. But if you do something wrong, you're open to what happens next, because that's the life you chose. You can't have it one way where you love the spotlight and you love everybody, loving you and following you and wanting to like hear what you got to say. But as soon as you fuck up, you don't want nobody to be saying nothing about you. Mm-hmm. That comes with the territory. The only issue that I have is, as a society, I feel like everything Ebony said about, people having certain things that they connect with in a negative way that makes them want to be done with people. To me, that's fair, because you're a human and you have your emotions. But I feel like the cancel culture is way beyond that. I feel like people have too many opinions about stuff that don't even affect them at all. It's not even a matter of, is it stopping your life? Is it doing anything to you? You just want to have an opinion. You got all these people with podcasts, and I mean, we got a podcast too, and I feel like we're very objective with the stuff that we say. But you have people who have podcasts who talk about stuff in a way that's denigrating celebrities and people just to get the clicks and to get the views and to get, people coming on. Like, we could easily take one side of this Meg the Stallion situation and just go hard at Tory Lanez. Even before we found out about Tory Lanez's side, the semi side of it, we was like, we wasn't killing Tory Lanez. We were just like, man, if he shot that chick, if he did it, that's messed up. So we didn't even talk about Ken, but I feel like so many other people are out there just having whatever platform they have, and they want to go in on people for making these mistakes, and they don't care what the final result is. It's just, for them, it's just fun or whatever it is. And that's what I feel like the issue is when it comes to cancel culture.
And Tory Lanez say he 5'7", by the way.
I feel like that's a lie.
Well, when he
if I want to question anything, that's a lie.
If he lied about that, it might all be a lie.
Well, we gonna see.
Exactly.
But like,
I want them to have a conversation. Like, I want both of them to sit down and be like, you know, why you shoot me in my foot? And
on our show,
like,
they should come on our show.
Yeah, they should. Yes, absolutely. And just like I want to hear from them what actually happened with the other one there to defend him or herself. Yeah, so it's not a back and forth. Like, I do want to know what happens because I do like Meg the Stallion, and like, I'm not a Tory Lanez fan, but I mean, I could be. But now that I know he likes to shoot women in the foot, like, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I want to know what happened so that I can say I'm okay with both of them.
We can schedule it the next time Trump and Biden debate and see who has the better ratings. That one or that one. But yeah, y'all are right about like, even with like Ellen and I think Jimmy Kimmel, 30 years ago they did a joke in blackface. It doesn't resonate with me in that way to cancel them, especially if I've enjoyed their comedy and their shows all this time. Now I understand other people that's like, oh no, I dealt with this in the 60s, 70s. They knew people got to do what's best for them. But I do think that there are some little things that we pick and choose, because I'm pretty sure I dressed up my kid as an Indian one Halloween, not thinking I was being offensive. It was just a cute costume that I bought. And I'm like, oh, when I sit back and look at it, like, that ain't cool, So, I mean, there's certain things that we do need to, like, be smart about. Like, hey, can people recover? Did they really mean to offend the entire race? Did they want to offend all different genders and things like that? So,
well, I know what we looking like on time?
our time clock says we're at 1 hour and 54 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As far as the Native American, even though we're not 100%, we're not living in that same type of culture because we've progressed beyond that or whatever. I mean, you from Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying?
Who from Oklahoma?
Wasn't you born in Oklahoma? Isn't your family?
My family's not from Oklahoma. I was born there because my mom had a job there. Yes, and I moved to Houston.
I thought that's where one of your grandparents lived there or something like that.
My grandfather and mom moved there because they was in some activity down here that they had to run away from. So they worked for General Motors up there. But I grew up in Houston. I moved to Houston after birth.
Oh, well, in any event, if you black in this country, then it's a great...
it's a possibility that you have...
It's a possibility that you're a part of the indigenous population.
It is a possibility. But all I'm saying is there's a lot of things that we do without saying, I'm not going to dress my child up as an Indian, because I got Indian in my family. It's just, I can't even tell you which tribe. You know why? Because my family didn't sign the rolls. So, so in saying that, everybody, please do the census. Is it time up or is it over with? Just do the census and we'll figure it out later. But I just do that. When I did the genealogy stuff to find out family history, what do you call it? Ancestry. Not the actual, not the DNA test, but actually just the tracing. A lot of that history that I was able to find was because of the few people that did the census of that time. So it is very important. Okay. Yeah. So if you don't, besides birth and death records, the census has been tremendously important. I've learned so much more about my family than what they know to say.
So what did you go to Ancestry.com?
Yeah, and I started a family tree. I'm going to share it with you because you're on it as well.
Well, yeah, I need to check it out or whatever.
It's so dope, y'all. It's so dope. I mean, of course, we can only go so far because we can only go to where our documentation ends.
So you need birth and or death.
You just need whatever little piece you can get. It doesn't have to be both. No, it's just anything. If they fill out a census, it will tell you who lived in that house at that time, where they were, where they came. It will tell you all the information they provided at that time, and it will link you to it. But if
I'm trying,
it's so dope, y'all. But most of us won't be able to get past 1800. I think one leg of my family, I was able to get into the mid 1700s.
see, that's why I don't like Ice Cube's playing where he talking that you got to prove it and stuff. Like, bro, I don't even know my great grandparents or whatever. How the hell I'm gonna prove it? You know what I'm saying? Beyond that or whatever. But my great grandmother is a white woman, so I definitely want to find her because if they rich, that may be the come up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Boy, might be related to Trump.
Could be, bro. Could be, man. And if that's the case, man, hey, I'm still not voting for him, but I'm gonna see if I can get a part of the family.
What's up, fam? That's exactly right.
Right now, the time to get in, man. The boy in the hospital. I mean, if things go right,
I could just write a book. Hey, I'm Trump's.
Hey, you right.
great nephew or cousin or something.
I wouldn't even want to be affiliated.
Get a piece of that, piece of them billions.
He's not even
Well,
as
that's
rich
right.
as
He's not. He's
says
not.
he
Yeah,
is.
he's not. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
But I can still get people to donate to me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like just by saying that I'm, you know, part of the family and stuff like that, I could come up with some type of organization, some philanthropic nonprofit that y'all need to follow and support or whatever, just by saying I'm Trump's. I seen a dude last night with 2 flags, the American flag and the Trump flag, and he got a picture of Trump on his left window. I guess he couldn't afford the sticker on the right side or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, man, these people really supporting this dude. So if I come out as one of his cousins or some shit.
They are. I don't understand them, why you'd want to decorate your vehicle or a house for anybody. I ain't even putting my kids' school on my car. Like, why are y'all putting these people on here? I don't get it.
My child's an honor student at Eagle Elementary. Like, I remember people used to have those bump stickers on their cars. Like, the people
made down the road one time.
Right.
Made down the road one time.
Forever.
Messed up your car.
Exactly.
I seen a bumper sticker that said, "My student beat up your honor roll student."
Show them hands.
Where's the funk? Wait, hold up, because they used to have basically transposing the letters for Obama or whatever. What was it? It was Buck Obama. Where's the Buck Trump bumper stickers and stuff like that at or whatever?
Well, because one side, even
very disrespectful.
You're right, but I really hate to make it seem like I'm a Democrat because I try to make it seem like I'm not with any party, but clearly I sway on one side. But it's like one side is more vocal, one side is going to talk about your wife and your kids and your kids being on cocaine and that they got a whole conspiracy that Michelle Obama is a man and that those kids didn't come from him and that Obama is a gay man because he's with Michelle. And people believe it. I know Black people that believe this. Really believe this.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
So,
it's like if they drew a line in the sand.
But we don't. I mean, and another thing. Charlamagne said this, and I know I'm not supposed to just be bringing up other shows, but he made a good point. He was like, we all know somebody that's a gang member. We all know somebody that's probably killed somebody. We all know somebody that's a Republican, a Democrat. We know a lot of people, even in spaces that we don't identify with. Who knows a member of Antifa? Does anybody know somebody that's a part of Antifa?
Yeah, that's
shouldn't we have each known somebody and know somebody?
But I also don't know nobody personally that's in the Klan. I don't know no Proud
I know
Boys.
people that's I don't know them like they my homies. But but the thing is, in Tomball, they used to have a Klan parade. They stopped that about maybe 5-6 years ago. But they used to still march in. I know people that I work with people that say my daddy was in the Klan. No, I don't know them personally.
But,
no.
But does Antifa, do they have footage? Do we have footage of there being an organization? Have we seen anything from them that says we do whatever, or is it just rhetoric that they exist?
A ghost.
It's rhetoric and then they throw in some Black Lives Matter and then some white people that's with Black Lives Matter.
That's why That's why that's important, is because you don't know no Proud Boys, Damon, but they exist. They have videos of people who say that I'm Proud Boys. They have rallies. Same thing with Ku Klux Klan. We know they exist because people are part, even though they don't congregate the way they used to, we know they exist in different circles. They have people who represent the Ku Klux Klan still that are just flat out racist, and they not like the cops and politicians, even though they exist too. But Antifa is like a ghost organization. So it's very reasonable to question, is it even a real organization?
I think they're a ghost operation. I mean, a ghost organization that operates in the shadows, and they knock pictures off of walls and knock down microphones.
Probably so.
And stuff
well,
like
Biden says it's an ideology. It's a thought. he says it's not a group. It's a thought.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it makes me think. I'm like, you would think I would know one person by now with everything that's going on.
Especially
Facebook, I should know one person on Facebook that's Antifa.
True.
That's true. Hell, even the Taliban, we knew they existed because even though they didn't show their faces, they would record videos of what the hell they were about.
They was dropping mixtapes every week.
They was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So ISIS, all that.
No, they had a mixtape every week. Dropping.
Don't no real gangsters make no videos about what they about to do. You know what I'm saying?
No, they didn't make no video about what they about to do. They did it. They was chopping heads off in videos.
I don't believe that neither. I don't believe it. That's all.
Some of the videos
CGI,
came out afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, this is why.
That's
hey,
CGI.
Even though that video might not have been true, we do know that there was a Taliban. Osama bin Laden. He was the leader. That was just the truth. Like whether he was America. Well, I'm just saying whether America like planted the seeds to make us believe a certain thing about them is a whole nother issue. But the Taliban was real, is my point. We knew they were real.
I mean, they may have been a real group of people or whatever, but were they the people that we think that they were?
Well, that's not my point. That's not my point.
Oh, okay.
My point is Antifa, there's no evidence that they exist.
Well, I never heard Osama bin Laden say, hey, I'm Taliban. Did he ever say that? Did he ever claim to be Taliban?
He claimed to be the leader of the people that was doing what they was doing.
From what I hear, that what he was saying, like people have come out that speak that language, Arabic or whatever, that say he wasn't even saying what the what the government was saying that to do. Like it didn't even translate to what they were saying that he's saying on the video. And then mysteriously, like I say, the $1 trillion of gold, then we pulling the people out. They killed Saddam Hussein, saying that he had weapons of mass destruction.
So Osama bin Laden was recording on TV saying, I am not this person. I don't know why they trying to kill me. I'm just trying to live.
Osama bin Laden family
still living in America. His niece still. Yeah. I think he
at the White House and everything.
Him and Saddam had a key to the city. I know Saddam had a key to the city of Detroit at one point. I think Osama got a key to another city on the East Coast. So, I mean, is it?
Man, we'll never know. We'll never know all of this shit.
Yeah, my point is not what they were about. It was that we at least knew they existed.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like Antifa,
still don't know.
There's nothing there.
No face. Who's the leader of Antifa? We know who founded Black Lives Matter, regardless of you think it's funded by whoever you think. We still know those 3 women founded it. So where's the founders of Antifa? Where's their website? Where's their Instagram? Maybe they got one. I'm sure somebody started one.
Yeah.
It's probably a bot that started
a real thing, yeah.
Anyway.
So that's it for the day. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
is Gina done?
How much more time we got, Damien?
I don't know. I'm letting y'all handle that.
We had a minute. We had an hour and 11 minutes. So yeah, we good.
Yeah, look, it's all aligned. Yours say the same, Gina? What's your time?
My time says
Gina went to sleep on us.
1 hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah, what's yours?
I was looking up Antifa. They do have.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking it up now too.
Oh, they do have a
Instagram.
website.
They have an
got a
Instagram.
Wikipedia.
Antifa International.
Let me see. International.
They got faces of people.
So they're international now?
I mean, faces. They got pictures of people.
It says anti-fascist David Campbell post-release fundraiser. Our wrongfully incarcerated comrade, David Campbell, is getting out on October 16th, and he needs our help. We know the strength of our movement is determined by the continued support of our comrades. Despite the precarity of the world David is coming back to, let's give him the welcome home he deserves.
So it's only 9,000 followers? Is this at that page?
The Antifa International?
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking at?
Well, then I stand corrected. I guess they do have an organization if they saying that's who they are. So,
but I don't feel like it's
I don't think this is real. Let me see.
Is it real though? Like, is this a real thing?
It's a website. It is a website. It's on the Tumblr. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know.
I feel like if the government has labeled Antifa a terrorist organization, anybody that linked to them in other countries, they would make them criminal. They would arrest them. They would look for them. So if they're on our soil and we're saying they're a terrorist organization, shouldn't everybody that's linked to them, like saying that they're part of the organization, be subject to arrest? What's the difference?
Well, I agree with Biden on this one. I think it's more of an ideology.
I think so. I think so. But like, I feel like I need to do some more research. They have this little comic on their site, on their Instagram page. And after the person saying, we're going to have a sit-in, and they're like, oh, that's too hippie. We're blocking traffic. That's too disruptive. Like, he goes through the whole thing. We're protesting. We're this, we're that. And for everything, it's like, no, that's too intimidating, too scary, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, it says there's no form of protest against racism that is acceptable to racists. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, maybe this is something I need to look at. I mean,
maybe I'm Antifa.
I don't want to be part of a terrorist organization. So definitely more research is
what does it stand for? Antifa.
I don't know.
Anti-fascist.
Anti-fascist.
Yeah.
Isn't that what America's supposed to be? We're supposed to be anti-fascist?
Bruh, anything that Black people are a part of that, and poor people that can help poor people get ahead is a terroristic group.
Right, but I don't think Black people are in Antifa. That's why I just think that they're trying to mesh that and Black Lives Matter all together.
But we're always a terroristic organization.
Yeah,
anytime Black people standing up for their rights, we're a terroristic organization that they will actually implement laws. Now, they have the Klan, they have always talked about the Klan. They have always infiltrated them. They've always infiltrated these biker gangs and Aryan Nation and all of these different white terroristic groups and stuff, but they have failed to do anything about it.
Well, they just became listed, probably a couple years ago or so?
But it doesn't matter, cousin.
Oh, no, we know it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying they didn't even label it. They didn't even pretend until a couple years ago.
But but they're still not going to do anything.
Oh, yeah, we know that. I don't think nobody believes they will.
And there's several articles from FBI agents who have talked about these homegrown terrorists for years. I'm talking about for decades, saying that we need to nip this problem in the bud. America has failed to do anything about it. Why? Because Republicans fuel these people and they pay money, you know what I'm saying? And they fill these super PACs with plenty cash or whatever. So
I think both sides fuel them because the Republican Party fuels it because they don't want the demographics of their country to change. And then you got the other side that wants to keep everybody in fear. So I'm pretty sure they're following it as well. And most of these people that are part of these organizations, unless they're at the top, are too dumb to know that they're being utilized as well. So that you ain't Black, and no, you not considered a person of color, but you poor. So you ain't shit either.
Ain't shit.
Oh, before we go, real quick. Trump cannot designate Antifa as a terrorist organization because Antifa is not an organization. Rather, it is politics of revolutionary opposition to the far right. Mm-hmm. There are Antifa groups, such as Rose City Antifa in Portland and NYC Antifa, just as there are feminist groups, such as the Pink Code. But neither Antifa nor feminism itself is an organization.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So
okay.
So I'm Antifa. I'm a feminist.
That's coming directly from the Washington Post. That is not just D. Will talking trash.
Oh, we know that because it sounded too real. So we know it wasn't you.
Okay. Well, wrapping up. We got.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Okay. Y'all stay safe. Till next level of Jumanji, and now y'all brought in. What is it? What's the one since the pictures are falling off the road, off of everything?
Oh yeah, the shadow organization Antifa.
Final Destination.
Final Destination.
So the Final Destination being the end of this year. We're gonna make it through, y'all. We're gonna be okay. Let's see what Trump has going on this week with his diagnosis. Let's see. Don't forget that the Breonna Taylor, the tapes from what was presented to the grand jury were released. So, listen to that when you get a chance. I'm going to try to take out some time today to listen to that. But we already know that they didn't get the facts. And I'm waiting for that particular juror to speak. So as soon as they give him or her the red light, I'm all ears.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's another good episode. Acoustic Chef, and we out.
Jeez.
See y'all next time.
Oh yeah, don't forget to share, like, and all that good stuff, people.
All that.
Have a good day.